If you're setting up your Google business profile for the first time, or you set it up years ago and never actually did it properly, this video is for you. I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step process that we use to set up profiles that rank in the top 3 spots and generate hundreds of calls per month. I'll walk you through every field, explain what actually matters to rank on Google Maps, and show you how to avoid the mistakes that cost businesses being invisible on Google search. Let's get into it. Section 1 is creating, verifying, and the essential information. So first things first, if you have a profile, or you think you do, but you don't know where it is and you don't have access, I'm gonna show you exactly how to find it. So what I would do is, I just searched plumber to find one, but look up your business name. So let's say that I'm Turbo Plumbing, AC and Electrical, and Roof Repair Service. Man, quite the service there. I look it up and then I find it. So what I'll do is copy, or let's just say we searched in like Turbo Plumbing, New Orleans, and boom. The profile comes up. You have now verified that you actually do have a profile. So what you do is click own this business, and then someone else might manage this profile. Click request access, and then you're gonna go through that step. You can also speak with Google support if you have a profile that you don't have access to and you're unable to get access to. So let's talk about making a brand new Google business profile. What you search is Google business profile, and then you're gonna click get listed on Google. You're gonna click start now, and then you're literally just going to fill this out. So I'm just gonna walk you through it. Let's say that our name is Darky Plumbing and Electrical. Business category, we're gonna be a plumber. Next. This step is absolutely crucial and will 100% dictate if you get good results from Google. So a lot of home service companies think, oh, we're a service area business. We don't need a physical location to show up. And that could not be further from the truth because, logically it makes sense. There's that option to have the service area business profile and the physical address Google business profile. And Google kind of wants you to think that service area business profile fits your company more, but it actually gives you a direct ranking disadvantage because the way Google search works is it's heavily reliant on proximity. So if I search for a plumber near me and there's a Google business profile with a physical address super close to me, and then one is a service area business that has my profile or my location in their service area, Google's going to recommend the physical address location. And so what we're going to do is click yes. This is going to require you to have a physical office to verify it. And so what I would suggest is either just, if you already have one, put in that address, but this is kind of a strategic decision here. And so the reason I say that is, let's say that, in New Orleans, all the money's down here near the river, Lower Garden District, near Audubon Park. What we're going to do is kind of want to be positioned closer to here. So let's say that your office is, all the way out in like Kenner area over here. Your target customers are not over there. And so you want to be positioned as close as possible to your target customers. So what these companies do, like Nadles has it super dialed in. They have a very strategic location because they do commercial work and residential. There's a lot of commercial work to be had right here in downtown New Orleans, but they're close enough to rank out here. So if I look up like AC repair, they pop up decently well. So there's some companies that are a bit closer, but regardless, the point here is you want to be close to your target customers. So let's say your real office is out in Kenner, but you want to be close to your target customers. I would recommend looking into cheap office space near your target customers, ideally within like 5 miles. The reason I say that is just proximity. And what's an office going to cost you? 500, 600 bucks a month for a location that will strategically position you in front of all your customers and give you a direct advantage over your competitors. So get that pin down. Let's say that we choose this location. I'm just going to click right here. Harbor Electric. This is decent location. They're obviously at a residential address, but it's a good location in the grand scheme of things. I'm just going to use their address for example. So what we're going to do is click here and then list this out. Boom. Click next. And then this is super important as well. So you click yes, and then you want to add the areas you serve. So for example, we serve Greater New Orleans. We also serve Metairie. We also serve Kenner. We're just going to stick with that. Cool. So now you're going to add a phone number to your profile. What I recommend doing is using a call tracking service like CallRail, Podium. Your CRM might already have one of these, and you're probably already aware of these. If you're a smaller company, you might just put in your main phone number. I don't recommend it. So put in your phone number, and then you can put in your website if you want. Now, if you are a service area business, you're opening a new profile, what I'd recommend doing is putting your dedicated location landing page for this new location. So let's say that we're in New Orleans and my main office is in Metairie, but we serve all of New Orleans, and then we're putting this office in New Orleans. I would put it to the New Orleans location page. So I would link that here. And then if you want to add chat, you can just add in. We're just going to use the same phone number. Sometimes your CRM will have you use a different one. All right, we're going to skip this for the point of the video. Cool. So now we need to start verification. What we're going to do is just put in our phone number, and I'm going to click verify later. And then I'm also going to skip the adding your services because you can add these later as well. But if you wanted to. Let's say we're a plumbing company. I'm just gonna click all of the services that we can do here. So if we do sewers, if we do some sump pumps, water tanks, yep, pretty simple. Click next. And then here's an option that's really important. So your business hours are incredibly important because if you're open 9 to 5 and your competitor is open 24 hours a day, those calls after 5 p.m. are going to go to them. So you're not going to get those calls, especially if you're in a service industry like plumbing or HVAC. The nature of the game is emergency calls. So what I would recommend doing is, and this is controversial, but I would recommend setting up some sort of either like offshore receptionist or someone stateside who's able to just pick up the phone super late, or start using an AI answering service. So instead of sending the customer to voicemail, you can open your hours to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or maybe you want to take off Sunday. Most people do. And it gives you a direct advantage for those hours that your competitors aren't typically open at. So we're going to click next, and we're going to add a business description. What I recommend doing for a business description is just go to Claude. Claude is probably the best writing tool. I have the pro plan. You can use the free plan. The pro is obviously a lot better, but it's all in the prompt. So I'm going to say, write me a Google business profile description for my plumbing company, Darkies Plumbing and Electric, based in New Orleans. We offer XYZ service. In this case, I'm just going to say we do all the normal plumbing services, pipes, drains, sewer, line, etc. We serve NOLA, Metairie, Kenner, and Kenner. We've been around 23 years. We want to give the 750. Make it under 750 characters. Cool. And that's going to be good enough. See, a lot of companies think that this business profile description is the end all be all. This is like, you can stuff keywords in here, you can rank from here. It's really not the case. It's helpful. You want to make it just accurately represent your company, and more so, just make it likable. So this looks good. We're just going to put this in here, and looks like we maxed out at 750 characters. So make it 10% shorter. Cool. Perfect. Next. So now you can add storefront photos. What I would recommend is getting a really good photo of outside the office with your permanent business signage. So Google wants to see this. When you add storefront photos, they want to see that you have an actual permanent sign of your company name outside of the business. So show that as well as the actual office address in the photo, ideally. So I would add that. I'm just going to skip for here. You can also add a couple photos for your work. I recommend adding 2 to 3 photos at the start. Don't just flood it with 60 photos because it actually might hurt your chances of getting verified. That's anecdotal, but we've kind of just seen the best results with 2 to 3 photos to start. Just show a couple photos of your jobs, maybe 1 or 2 photos of your team or like a company branded vehicle. And we click continue. We now have our Google business profile and we are not verified. So you'll see right here, get verified. Now what we're gonna have to do is put in our phone number, and I put in my phone number. Now it'll give you some verification options. 9 times out of 10, you will get the business video. This is very tricky to pass sometimes, but if you are prepared, you can do it correctly and you'll pass. Other verification options you can get sometimes will be a postcard verification, although it's pretty rare. You'll also get the option to do a phone or email verification. I don't recommend doing those because later on, it'll probably have you do the video at some point. So I'd say just do the video off the rip. If you have a real office, you have nothing to worry about, but what you need to prepare is the right things to shoot the video. So Google shows you a couple things, and I'm just going to add on to these. First thing is show surrounding areas such as street signs and neighboring businesses. The way that I approach this is you start the video outside. And again, this is going to be one continuous recording, so you don't have time to edit it. You can't record it and then upload it. It has to be shot live on this app. So you're going to have to open this up on your phone, sign into the profile, click get verified, and then go through this. I recommend starting the video outside, showing a couple street signs, so literal signs of the street you're on, as well as if you have a neighboring business or an office, show them and show their address, then walk to your business and show the permanent sign that you have outside. So not just some piece of paper that you wrote your name on, but get a professional business sign printed, ideally one with like acrylic or plastic, and put it outside of your business. Show that on the video, and then you're going to walk to the door. You're going to open the door with a key. So if you can lock the door, do it, and then unlock it on the video. Walk through, you're going to show the actual office. So that's going to be equipment in the office. If you are a plumber, have, just your work bag, maybe some gear. And if you're, a roofing company, the same sort of thing, locksmith, same sort of thing. Also, if you have a branded company vehicle, show that out front before you go inside. Next thing is going to be showing your documents. So what I would recommend doing is having your lease agreement for that office location printed out. The business name that you made on this Google business profile profile needs to match business name on that lease agreement. And if you want to take it a step further, print out a customer invoice with this new office location and then have the business name on there correctly. You're going to have those both printed out and on a desk. You're going to walk up to them with the camera, show them, make sure it shows in frame and you can see it, and get like 1 to 2 seconds of each document. The last thing I'll recommend is actually pretty funny, but if you get a cash register and open it up on the video, there's some money inside. I know it sounds ridiculous, but we've actually used this for a couple of clients of ours and it's helped get them verified. So now we click next and we're going to click start recording. And this is where you're going to do it on your phone. Last thing to note is don't show your face in the video. Cool. You're going to click start recording and then you'll shoot the video. The last thing I'll say is keep it between 1 to 2 minutes. So you're going to have to move quick. You're going to show all these things in 1 to 2 minutes. Try to keep it, not too shaky and show the right stuff. Okay, cool. Assuming you pass the verification. So once you get the profile live and verified, this is very important. Do not touch it for 7 full days. I mean, 7 days after you get it verified, do not touch the profile. Don't add any reviews, don't add any photos, don't change any settings, don't change your phone number, don't update your name, don't do anything for 7 days. You want to let it cool down and then you can slowly start warming it up after. That warm-up process is going to be a couple posts in the first week, add a couple photos, you can change some of the settings on the business profile, which we're going to right now, and then you can slowly start building it up, starting to get reviews, etc. So first thing I want to show you on the profile is the edit profile tab. You can click the business name. For this company, they keep it simple and they have 2 keywords in their title, which is awesome, but very important. You can't just go about changing your business name at free will, because oftentimes if you change it and it doesn't get accepted by Google, it'll either get rejected and it'll go back to the old name, or sometimes you'll face a suspension, which means you'll have to provide documentation, proof of that new name, and you'll have to shoot a new video. So avoid changing this at all costs. Next thing is going to be the business profile category. You can see this company is a plumber, but obviously they offer drain services. They might offer some other services that relate to other different categories. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So the primary category should be what your competitors have. The best way I can show you to do this is go to Google, search for plumber near me. And obviously I'm kind of near the river here. Ted's Plumbing and Electric. So they're close, but they don't have anything. But the point here is they're a plumber. If I click on Keefe's, they are an air conditioning contractor. If I click here, it's a plumber. So Keefe's is crushing because they have so many reviews. Let's just be honest. And they're pretty far away. But if we look at the companies that are ranking locally, they're all plumber as their main category. So we want to make plumber our main category because our competitors have it. And then we can add additional services. Now this company does drains, so we have drainage service. It makes sense. You can essentially add all of the relevant categories, but don't go overboard here. So you can actually see they have this list of categories. And if you want to see a longer list, go to business profile categories. You can look this up, boom, and then you have all the categories here. We just look up like plumber. So there's plumbing supply store. That's not relevant. Don't put it. If you do electrical work, you can put, electrician if you want, or if you do like electrical installation service, all these sort of things, if it's relevant to your business. Cool. So we already went over the description. For opening date, this is actually super helpful. So we've seen that with Google business profiles that have an older opening date, they have a direct ranking advantage. It's small, it's marginal, but it does help. So let's say that this company opened this Google business profile in 2021, but the company's been around for 20 years. Put that opening date there. You can be honest here, but put it like older opening dates typically just get you better results. Okay, so you want to have the website linked. This company only has one Google business profile, so they linked their homepage. If you have multiple locations, I recommend linking the location page that is closest or most relevant to that profile location. For social profiles, definitely just add all of your social media profiles here. It only helps you kind of internally link to these. Google will trust you a little bit more, all that sort of stuff. So they have an office location here, but they also have a service area. So with physical office locations, you can actually still choose a service area. We want to be specific here. They serve St. George, Washington County, Hurricane, all that sort of stuff. So they have those correctly done. With the service area, this is super important. You don't want to add any service area or any locations in your service area. You want to make sure you can drive to every single point in the listed service areas in under 2 hours of driving. So that's pretty much it in terms of the profile setup. By the way, if you're a local service business doing over 600K a year, you're probably thinking 2 things. First, this all makes sense. Second, I don't have time to set all this up and optimize my profile. If you want us to handle your complete Google Business Profile optimization and get you ranking in the top 3 section, book a free consultation with me at the first link in the description. But first, let's get back to the video. So the next 2 sections I want to show you are the edit services and the edit product section. We're going to start with the services. So for every single service you offer, you want to have it listed here. As you can see with this plumbing company, they have a massive amount of services listed and could even add more. So for each specific service, instead of just saying, oh, we do, shower plumbing, you want to have shower installation, you want to have shower clog drain, you want to have, shower drainage, cleaning, etc. And then this is where this company doesn't actually have it, but we want to add service descriptions for each of these services. So you want to go in, add a service description. You have 300 characters to work with. You don't need to add a price. So more recently, Google's been letting people ask questions before they even book. If someone asks or wants to confirm a price and you don't have pricing on your services and your product section in a second here, you're going to be at a disadvantage. You're probably not going to be shown. So I'd recommend just putting a starting price. So click from and add in, faucet installation, let's say $219. You're going to add a service description. So I'd recommend going back to Claude and I'm going to say, you're a Google Business Profile SEO expert. Help me write a under 300 character service description for the service faucet installation. And let's see what it outputs. Perfect. So we just want to make it super simple. In these service descriptions, I would actually recommend including a location modifier. So just mention the service, or the location, sorry. So revise them to include that we offer this service in New Orleans, Louisiana. Cool. So we're going to copy this. We're going to come in here, paste it in. Oops. Copy that, paste it in, perfect. We're gonna click save. You wanna do that for every single service. So the next section is the edit product section. So you can actually add your services as products on the Google Business Profile. I know what you might be thinking, oh, we're a plumber, we don't sell products. Well, good news for you is you don't need to. Right here, what we do is we include the service as a product name. We include it in a category, and then I would recommend putting a product price. This can just be a starting price. So we'll make it, for professional plumbing, we'll make it starting at 49 bucks. You guys probably hate me for that. All those people undercutting you. So we add a product description. You have 1,000 characters to work with. So I would do the same thing here, but just make it for a Google Business Profile product description for the service, and then make sure that it's under 1,000 characters, and then have the product landing page. So this is for a plumbing service. So I would assume that this company has their plumbing service page listed here. And you want to add a graphic. Obviously, these are stock images. This is not ideal. I would recommend having real images of all these services or products from your company, from your text. But regardless, it's better than nothing. So let's talk about posts, photos, reviews, and ongoing maintenance. So first things first, you want to post consistently from the photo section of your Google Business Profile. If we look at this company, they have a bunch of awesome content. So they have branded images with their branded company trucks. They have their guys on jobs. They have their guys just doing funny stuff like this, and they have really good line replacement, really good photos of the work that they do. The reason that this is so amazing is because not only does Google trust businesses that have relevant photos, but it shows people that you guys are just like a real company. You guys are happy. You're all wearing your branded company stuff. You have videos of the work, and this is really, really helpful for influencing people to trust you more and actually pay you to do their work. So what I recommend is uploading new photos every single week for the Google Business Profile. That said, if that's unrealistic, just have a Google Drive folder and have your team upload photos every month and then do a big batch. So the next section is the post section, or the from the owner section. So we're going to click on posts, and then you can see we have all these posts put out for this company. So some of these photos or posts are actual graphics. Some of them are actual photos. Some are stock, some are real. It is what it is. So come here, and then what I would recommend is putting in a description. This is not an ideal description. I like spacing them out a little bit more. So what I would do is come in here, write me a professional description for a Google Business Profile post update promoting our drainage services. Cool. So as you know, a lot of people don't really convert from these posts. So what I like to do is actually use them as a method of internally linking to your website pages. Let me explain. So you might be thinking, oh, let's do call now button. People will call us. They don't want to do all this stuff. They want to call us. Well, the honest truth is people aren't going to convert from seeing this on your profile. So if we scroll down, see a post, oh, cool. Yeah, I'm going to call now. They're probably not going to. It's very, very, very low amount of people that do this. So what we do instead, and we didn't do this and this isn't done for this company correctly, but we actually click learn more button, and then let's see what this is about. So this is about emergency plumbing. So we're going to go to their website, click and look for the emergency plumbing service page, and we're going to link that here so that it internally links out. And this does two things. It A, helps Google crawl and index your website pages, making sure they stay indexed. And then B, it just helps internally link to that page, gives it a little bit more authority. So here we go. We just have a bunch of different types. Some companies like spamming emojis. Some people like making it super clickbaity. It doesn't really matter. It just kind of represents your brand. So I would say this looks solid. We're going to come in here, paste this in here, boom, and then click the learn more button, add that, and then boom, post. So let's talk about reviews. Reviews are the single most important ranking factor on your Google business profile that dictates how you show up on Google Maps and on ChatGPT. So a lot of people think the total number of reviews is the most important thing here, and that's actually not the case. This company, for example, has 151 reviews with a 4.9 star rating. The rating is super important, and the total number is important, but the best way I can describe this is look at this search, for example. I click let's do plumber, New Orleans. This is not really relevant to proximity. It's not taking that into account. So look at this. We have companies with pretty terrible reviews showing up. Some of these are because they have a really good business name. So New Orleans Plumbing Services, that's pretty close to this. Obviously, guys with the most reviews typically rank at the top. You'll see companies like this that don't even have their keywords in the business name. It's not even a plumber. It's a plumbing supply store. You'll see companies that are ranking well that don't have nearly as many reviews, and that's because they're getting reviews consistently. So review frequency or velocity is incredibly important here. So if you click on read reviews, click on newest. We got one 13 hours ago, 3 days ago, 7 days ago, 7 days ago. We just scroll through. This company is probably averaging about 10 per month, maybe 8 to 10 per month. So if their competitor has 300 reviews and a 4.9 star, and they're getting 10 per month, their competitor gets 1 per month, we're going to outrank the competitor, likely. So what I recommend doing is training all your guys or techs in the field to ask in person for a review. To make this even simpler, click here, print out this QR code, laminate it, give it to all your guys, keep it in their truck, and in the process of asking customers, just have them hand it to them. Hey, takes 20 seconds. Would you mind leaving us a quick Google review? I really appreciate your trust in us today. We're trying to grow our company locally. And then also click this, click copy, and then set up an email and SMS automation or retargeting system to actually text and email all these past customers who didn't already leave a review. And you include this link to the business profile page. If you want to take it a step further, you can actually manually call these people. So for companies that are in higher ticket, lower volume industries like roofing, water damage restoration, maybe like law, legal, anything like that, with these higher ticket jobs or customers, it is harder to get a bunch of reviews. So what I recommend you do is have some sort of receptionist call every single client or customer of yours and just make it as difficult as possible for you not to get a review from every single customer. Cool. Last thing on reviews is you want to respond to every single review within 24 hours. So you can see this company got a review 13 hours ago and they responded 7 hours ago. And this is perfect. This is exactly what you want to do. And if you're up for it, you can actually request that your customers mention the service and the location you did the job for them in. So this helps you rank for those specific services. So if we click on, let's just go back to here, click on Nadles, we're going to go to reviews. You can see if people mention plumber or water heater or electrician or ceiling in the review, it's going to help you rank for these. And it's also going to help you rank for these searches on Google. The difference between profiles that get all the calls and stay invisible is your profile completeness and consistency. You see, most businesses set up about 50% of their Google business profile and then wonder why their competitors are ranking above them on search results. And if you start treating your Google business profile like a living asset that you need to continually invest in every week by doing reviews, getting new posts up, adding new photos, responding to reviews, instead of some set and forget thing, you are going to see results guaranteed. If you want my team and I to handle your full Google business profile optimization and start getting you more phone calls and book jobs from Google search and ChatGPT, book a free consultation with me at the first link in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.